The last prophet in the world, last prophet in the world, last prophet in the world to show how to be closer to Allah. He is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
In order to warn the Quraysh to back off, the Muslims tried to show that they were not weak anymore. And so, the people of Mecca should stop messing with those innocent Muslims. During the second year of the Hijri, or the second year of the Islamic calendar, in the 5th month, Jumadul Ula, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ took more than 150 muhajirin, who were the Muslims from Mecca, and went west, next to the Red Sea, to the city of Ushayra to fight with one of the Quraysh's biggest business group who were going to Syria. Abu Sufyan was the leader of that business group. But unfortunately, that business group left that place a few days before Muhammad ﷺ reached there. But luckily, when returning back from that journey, Muhammad ﷺ made some friends with some new tribes. A month later, the Prophet originally sent 12 muhajirin, but since 2 of them lost their camels, only 10 of them went to a town very close to Mecca, which was the city of Nakhla. That place was between Mecca and Taif. During that time, it was the 7th month of the Islamic calendar, which was the month of Rajab, in the 2nd Hijri. Before Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, many centuries ago, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected the month of Rajab for Umrah to visit the Kaaba for worship. During this month, for the safety of those who want to visit the Kaaba, no fighting or war was allowed. The only reason why the Prophet sent those Muslims very close to Mecca was so that they could get some information about the Quraysh and their business travel plans. But unfortunately, when the Muslims saw a small Quraysh business group, they attacked the Quraysh and killed one person. They also arrested 2 of the enemies and brought them back to Medina with them. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ heard about what happened, he became very upset. He immediately freed those arrested enemies and paid a fee for their mistake to the family of the person who was killed accidentally. After that event, the Quraysh used that opportunity to spread scandals and rumors against the Muslims because they broke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's law by attacking the people in the holy month of Rajab. It was a very uncomfortable situation for the Muslim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then sent Surah Baqara verse 217 about that situation and said that it was bad to fight in the month of Rajab. But then, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said in that ayah that the Quraysh were killing many innocent Muslims and was throwing them out of their own houses, which was even worse. After that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent many Quranic sentences to give as guidelines of how to deal with evil people. If the evil people wanted to fight, Muslims would also have to fight back with them. If they wanted to become friends, Muslims should then accept their friendship. Around that time, about 2 weeks before Ramadan, something very important happened in Islam. Before, the Muslims used to pray their prayer towards the direction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Palestine. But from that day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changed the law for Muslims and told them in Surah Baqara verse 144 to pray their prayers towards the direction of the Kaaba in Mecca. Some Jewish people who claimed themselves as Muslims did not like that new law from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's because they were false Muslims, and because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changed His laws, it helped Muslims know who the fake Muslims were and who the real Muslims were.
Why were the Jewish people who claimed themselves as Muslims not happy with the new law?
It's because all of their prophets used to pray in the direction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Since they were used to praying in that direction for many, many years, they were not happy with the change. During the same month of Shaban, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave another law in Islam that every healthy Muslim would have to fast during the entire month of Ramadan. Before that law, fasting was not required for Muslims. The Quraysh were very angry at the Muslims for their bravery. They realized that their business route to the north was not safe anymore because the Muslims in Medina. So, the evil Quraysh wanted to attack Medina and kill all of the Muslims to make their business route safe. It was a foolish decision for the Quraysh to attack Medina because they could have easily become friends with the Muslims. But instead, their arrogant wish was to kill all the Muslims in Medina. During the second month, which was Ramadan, in the second Hijri, or the second Islamic year, in the year of 624, one of the most important events happened in Islam. This was the famous Battle of Badr. Abu Sufyan's business group was returning from Syria with lots of business items. It was a very big business trip for the people of Mecca. Almost all of the rich leaders from Mecca invested their money with Abu Sufyan in that business trip. Abu Sufyan was a very smart businessman. He was very careful to avoid the Muslims in order to protect his business group. Then, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ got the news about Abu Sufyan's business group. The Prophet took around 313 Muslims with him to stop Abu Sufyan's business group in order to give them a message to stop messing with the Muslims.
So, if the people of Mecca were the superpower in the land of Arabia at that time, why did the Prophet ﷺ only take 313 Muslims to fight with the strong Quraysh?
No, he didn't want to fight with anyone. That's why he did not take all of the Muslims with him. He wanted to bring peace between the Muslims and the Quraysh. His plan was to scare the Quraysh so that the Quraysh would stop killing the innocent Muslims and to let the Muslims live in peace. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ basically wanted to establish Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's laws so that everyone would have their own right to follow their own religion freely. No one should ever give a hard time to anyone for their religious beliefs. That's why he had only 313 Muslims, 2 horses, and only 70 camels for their journey. Because there weren't that many camels, they had to share the camels for the ride to the place of Badr next to the Red Sea. It was around 90 miles southwest of Medina. In that Muslim group, there were only 82 Muhajirin, which were the Mecca's Muslims, and around 230 were the Ansar, who were the Medina's Muslims.
Why were the Muslims trying to go to the place of Badr?
Badr was surrounded by high mountains with some water wells, and for travelers like them, it was the best place to take a rest on the way. The Prophet knew that Abu Sufyan's business group would take rest in the place of Badr. Abu Sufyan had 40 people, 100 camels, and lots of expensive business items. When Abu Sufyan heard that the Muslims made a plan to attack his caravan, he became very scared and did not follow his usual route. He quickly changed the route and sent one of his people to Mecca to get some soldiers to save his expensive business item. When the Quraysh heard the news, they became very angry and got ready to protect Abu Sufyan and his business group. They quickly gathered 1,300 soldiers. Almost all of the leaders from Mecca joined that group. The only leader who didn't join the group was Abu Lahab, and since he didn't go, he sent one of his men instead to fight in his place against the Muslims. All of the tribes joined the army except for one family group from the Quraysh, the Banu Adi. Abu Jahl was one of the main leaders of the Quraysh during the battle, and he was very excited for that mission since he did not like the Muslims. When the bad Quraysh reached the middle of their journey, at the place of Rabig or Jufa, the Quraysh got the message from Abu Sufyan that his business group was saved and the army should return back to Mecca. However, Abu Jahl did not like the idea of returning to Mecca because he wanted to destroy the Muslims. So, he was able to convince almost all of the people to fight with the weak Muslims. Originally, the Banu Zahra family group went to fight in order to protect the business group. But later on, they did not agree with Abu Jahl, so they backed down because they did not want to destroy the Muslims for no reason. So, because of that, almost 300 soldiers from Banu Zahra returned to Mecca. Then, Abu Jahl continued his journey with the remaining 1,000 soldiers to fight against the Muslims. Finally, they set up their camp behind the mountain of the Badr area. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ heard that the Quraysh were coming to destroy the Muslims, he immediately set up a meeting with the Muslim soldiers and their leaders. At first, some of them were scared to fight with the strong Quraysh soldiers. But then when they heard Abu Bakr, Umar, and Miqdad, peace be upon them's opinion, everyone became mentally strong to fight against their strong enemies. These three strong Muslim leaders were the Muhajirin, who were from Mecca. However, 2/3 of the entire group of men were the Ansar, those who were from Medina. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ wanted to know what the Ansars were thinking. Then one of the Ansar's leader, Sa'ad, peace be upon him, said he strongly supported the Prophet's decision. And then with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings, everyone else agreed to fight with the bad Quraysh. For more detailed information about this event, we can find information at the beginning of Surah Anfal. This fight was very important for the Muslims. If the Muslims were scared to fight with the bad Quraysh, Islam would have been very weak, which meant that the Quraysh would go to Medina to kill all the Muslims and no one would have any faith in the power of Islam. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ started his journey with those brave Muslims to the place of Badr and arrived there the same night as the Quraysh. Then the Muslims set up their camp at Badr. Compared to the Quraysh, the Muslim army was very small. So Because of that, it was very important for the Muslims to come up with a smart strategy that would help them win. One expert soldier, Hubab, peace be upon him, requested Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to move forward the camp so they could control the majority of the water well. He also requested to fill up the water wells using stones and to keep one water well for themselves so that the enemy could not get any water. Hearing this, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ accepted Hubab's, peace be upon him's, brilliant advice because the Muslims needed all of the strategies that they could possibly do, especially since the Muslims weren't even ready to go to battle. He also sent 3 brave Muslims, Ali, Zubair, and Saad, peace be upon them, to get some information about their enemies. Those brave Muslims went very close to the enemy's camp and found 2 slaves were carrying some water. So they immediately arrested them and brought them to the Prophet. From those slaves, Muhammad ﷺ got some important information about their enemies, like how many soldiers they had and who were in the battle group. The Muslims also made a small tent for Muhammad ﷺ where he could give direction to his people in the battlefield. When all of the preparations were completed, Muhammad ﷺ started to pray for the Muslims' victory and blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted the Prophet's request and promised that at the battlefield, 1,000 soldiers would come and help the Muslims gain their victory.
Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really send 1,000 angels to help Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam?
Yes, you can find this information in Surah Anfal, verse 9. But how they helped the Muslims, we don't know. There are different opinions from different scholars, but only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the best. During the night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them a blessing rain in order to purify the Muslims and to give them mental strength. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala miraculously made everyone fall asleep so that they would be refreshed in the morning, and so they would have full energy to fight with the Muslims. Inshallah, in our next story, we will see how the bad Quraysh started the first war with the Muslims.
We are giving special thanks to each and every one of our supporters who gave a one-time donation or a monthly gift. And if you haven't yet supported us, it's never too late because we are always trying to produce the best content for all of you.
The Prophet Story.